Good morning. It's 2/11/2016. My name is Paul Emerson, and as always, this is my 2 cents. This video is going to be a overview of the last few months of what's been going on in my life and the beginning of what's about to happen in my endeavor to continue to be the person that I am trying to be. I'm currently walking through the commercial property that I'm renting. I pretty much have access to all of this common space that I'm showing you. I have been granted permission to utilize all of this work area after business hours, during business hours, and after business hours to produce content for a story, or all of the things that I've been doing. Most of you that have been following me pretty much know exactly what it is that I've been trying to do, what my long-term endeavors have been with my 2 cents, with wanting to make a video game, wanting to develop stories, just in general, just my goals in life have always been to just be prosperous, to write stories and make an honest living without having to be a stereotype or corrupt who I am, to make myself out to be something that the system says I should be, opposed to what I want to be. And last night I spent the whole night trying to wake up. I've been asleep all day in that office space, not because that's where I stay. I mostly literally sleep outside because I don't want to compromise the lease. But if I'm actually working and I feel a desire to work throughout the night like I would when I lived inside of an apartment, I would binge work all day, but my mind is so immensely fatigued from my current state of being homeless and being subjected to all of the bullcrap and craziness that I've been going through, that I literally cannot wake up. I literally have been probably asleep for the last 6.5 hours trying to force myself to wake up so that I can write, so that I can draw. I need to start drawing characters. I really have to develop the skill set of illustrating to move from where I am to where I need to be. I can't get artists around me to help, so I'm gonna have to take on that extra burden myself, which is not really a burden. It's just not it's not a niche in my skill set that I have that I've ever been really able to truly master. And so when I do learn how to draw, it will never be a mastery of it. It'll always just be just enough to get my point across. And I really wanted true art to complement my writing ability. My writing capabilities are that of an artist, and I wanted an artist to complement that art. So now my stories have to be carried by the weight of the words themselves and not by the images. But there is a relevance to this story. There is a relevance to what why I'm recording today and what's going on. The biggest change in my life right now is my girlfriend. I've never really had anyone. I've never been in a relationship quite like the one I'm in right now. I've never been fully accepted for who I am, been embraced by me. I don't have to. I'm in a type of relationship that I've always wanted to be in, basically, and that's really different from the way I've lived. I've always spent my entire life hoping to be in a relationship that I'm currently in, but I never believed it possible. I don't have any faith or belief in God, so I never truly thought that it would actually be possible, that I'd ever statistically encounter a woman on my level, or vice versa. I never believed that there exists such a female that would even want to be in a relationship with a guy like me. I never thought that those conditions could ever actually arise, and they have. But something interesting happened yesterday, and it goes right back to my 2 cents. So I'm gonna make a video about it because I am a certain type of person. I live my life a certain type of way. Like all of us, like everybody, we're all a certain type of person. We all live a certain type of way. We all have priorities that are based on how we view ourselves and what we perceive our priorities to be and what we think our priorities should be. And right now, I'm homeless. Like, what you see behind me is basically where I live. I live downtown Vancouver, in the Jansen Beach area, because this is the easiest place for me to exist without being harassed by other people or by the police. Since there's a homeless population in this area, no one really bothers me. And since I've been living in the Vancouver area for so long, the police know, they know me when they see me. They don't bother me, they don't harass me. Not because there's no such thing as discrimination or prejudice or profiling or anything like that. It's simply because I've developed a relationship within the small community that the city is, to where I'm no longer harassed by the police. You've seen the videos of all of the bullcrap that I've gone through with officers. I just know how to conduct myself in a way where people leave me alone. But I'm digressing from the overall point of what occurred. So my intelligence is taking a hit. Even in this video, you can tell that I'm not the same guy that I've always been. And it's taking a hit because I'm sleeping outside. You do not get a full sleep when you're sleeping outside. I am 34 years old. I'm working 2 jobs, and I'm going to an office space to be as creative as I possibly can be with the little time I have left. I have to get on a bus and travel all the way to the other side of the city to shower. I have to get on a bus and travel to the other side of the city to wash my clothes. So I literally have to leave here, go all the way over to Andreessen and 4th Plain, go into storage, get my clothes out, get them organized in the dark because there's no light in there, and then take them across the street to wash them. Then when I'm done washing my clothes, I have to take them back to storage, and then I have to get what I need to go to Planet Fitness to shower. Then I have to leave Planet Fitness and drop my dirty clothes off, get ready for work, take enough clothes so that I can have for my second job, including an extra pair of shoes, get on a bus and go to work. That whole process takes about 4 hours. Then I get to work. I work 8 hours. I leave work. I go from work, get maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and then have to go back to work. Then I work there for a few hours, and I leave work, and then I have to go do that whole 4-hour process of washing my clothes and stuff. But I've already spent 19 hours of my day just doing that, just getting ready for work and working. So something has to give. I'm not cooking food in my kitchen. I'm not eating nutritional meals. And this woman I'm in a relationship with wants to be in a relationship with the guy that I am, but she does not want to acknowledge the guy. She wants to be in a relationship with the guy that I'm supposed to be, the embodiment of the Paul Emerson that everyone's used to, the guy that showered regularly and brushed his teeth regularly and, you know, cleaned his clothes regularly and was able to conduct himself in a timely manner because he had a local origin from which to operate from. That's the guy she wants to be in a relationship with, and that's the guy I want to be. But that's not the guy that I am right now. I sleep outside. This is home. Right now, I can just crawl over here in this corner and go to sleep if I wanted, because this is where I live now. When I was, evicted from my apartment by a bunch of people of a certain complexion based on a certain condition, we can sit there and we can argue all day about how I just need to pay my rent. But you need to understand something. Most of the people that are homeless don't have 2 jobs and aren't uploading videos to YouTube while trying to start comic book companies. There's a reason why I was evicted, and it has nothing to do with the normality of why people usually wind up homeless. You don't want to address that. Nobody wants to address that. Nobody wants to sit here and talk about that. But that's the reality. And that's the problem we're having. For some reason, reality escapes us. Even though I'm in an intimate relationship with this individual, reality seems to escape her too. We got into a conversation yesterday, and she gets upset at me because I'm spacey. My focus isn't 100%. That's the reason why I haven't really been recording the way I want, because I kind of know that. I kind of understand that my spacing is that I'm not as focused on moving, and that my thinking and speaking and my ability to articulate is not there. I feel like I think it's Huey from the Boondocks. The one that says Huey, the older brother, when he did his video on YouTube, on BET, and he was watching BET. He's very articulate, very intelligent. He's like, I'm gonna just watch 30 days of TV straight. I'm gonna do this experiment and see how it affects your mentality. And like 2/3 of the way through it, he couldn't even reason anymore. He's just like, yeah, like sometimes you just do stuff and then it just happened. Like he completely lost all of his higher cognitive functions. And that's kind of where I am right now. I feel like all of my higher cognitive functions are taking a back seat to my normal primal ability to just function and be normal. Just like that. Like I know that I'm doing that, but I don't understand how not to. My mind is being completely destroyed by the state of homelessness. And the only reason that I'm even able to be consciously aware of it is the fact that I have enough of who I am left that I can observe myself being somebody that I'm not. And it's the strangest thing, but it goes back to rest and sleep, and I don't get any of it anymore. And when I'm dealing with my girlfriend, she doesn't want to acknowledge the reason why my intelligence is not where it's supposed to be is because you're in a relationship with a guy that is homeless. She doesn't want to acknowledge that part. So me and her always conflict. You always eating McDonald's. You need to eat some real food. I don't have a kitchen to prepare real meals in. Well, you need to quit making excuses. I'm not making any excuses. I sleep outside at night. Well, you need this, you need that. It's like, I can't this and that. You have to go through the motions. You have to go from where you are to where you're trying to be. This is the reason why that video where I said this is a cruel irony, and you saw the look on my face, this is the reason why. Because I understood that this is where I was headed. Just like Dr. Manhattan with the whole, we're all puppets, I could just see the string thing. I knew this is what was going to happen to me. I understood empirically that this is what was going down. And it shouldn't have had to. It should not have had to went down like that. This is the reason why I started my 2 cents and why the Bank of Paul Lamerson was uploaded. Because all of this stuff is occurring around us and to us, and we're so busy trying to save ourselves that we don't even want to acknowledge any of the bullcrap. I was on the phone with my uncle yesterday, and my roommate messaged me, and he was just like, he was done. He was just like, you know what, she needs a this and that, and I agree 100% with him. He went off on her character and her nature and what she's about and how she doesn't need my help. She asked me, I messaged her right around the time that I had met my girlfriend. I told her, I said, hey, what are you going to do? Are you still going to try to, support the guy that you're with, even though you know it's something that's not going to work in your favor? Or are you going to try to help me work out a way for us to get off the street? And she automatically started blaming me and accusing me of all of the mistakes that she made. Like, it's not my fault that I got evicted because I gave them the money that I had. That's all that I can do. I can go work a job, I can earn a living, and I can give them 100% of what I got. And that's what I did. I gave them 100% of everything that I had to give them. She didn't want to acknowledge that at that time. She told me to stop calling her because it was too much for her to deal with, and she needed me to leave her alone. because she was in love, and there was no talking about anything other than that. So I did. I said, okay, fine. If that's what you want, then I'm gonna erase your phone number out of my phone because I don't have it saved, and I won't bother you anymore. And that was about 3 weeks ago, because it's only been about since December. So time moves extremely slow when you're not happy, or I shouldn't say when you're not happy, but when you're not uncomfortable, when you're uncomfortable. And that was about 3 weeks ago. So I get a message today I was ranting and raving about my my work situation, and I'll get to that in a second. I was ranting and raving about that, and me and my uncle was talking, and I get a message from a number, and it's like, I need to use you for a landlord so that I can get an apartment with a friend of mine, and I need you to pretend like you're my landlord. So don't screw it up for me because I need this. And I'm like, is this Tiffany? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, what are you like? So I told my uncle, like, she wants me to help her. And he's like, well, no, you don't need to help her, this and that. And he went up on her. He's right. Everything he said about her is right. He's like, you don't need to be, she's not trying to help you. She's not trying to do right by you. She needs to go ask her boyfriend for help, and she needs to go deal with him and hold him accountable and talk to him about all of the issues that are going on. Like, when you needed her, she went in your corner, so you don't need to be backing her on nothing. You can tell her where to go, and he is 100% right. But that's not what I did. Not because I'm two-faced or arrogant or I'm needy and selfish and manipulative, but that's not my nature. I was trying to legitimately help her, and she didn't want it. So since she's coming back to me asking for help, I'm gonna help her anyway, because I need to transfer to another store location, Jack in the Box. So the odds that she needs me when I need her, when she's already proven that she's not gonna help me out of the kindness of her heart, kind of shows me the direction that I need to go in, because I would help her regardless, whether I need something or not. If you're in need, I would help. My girlfriend got me the other day. She's like, why did you pass up the guy that was asking you for change? And I looked at her and I'm like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, and this goes back to her inability to want to acknowledge my situation. She's like, well, if he asked you for change, you just walk by him. It's like, I'm homeless. The homeless usually isn't in a position to help the homeless. Like, that's the way it works.